Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Tom's Gadget Garage. Today we are here with the Engwe Engine Pro 2.0 at Phoenix's South Mountain. And today we're going to be doing a grueling hill climb test, which is going to take us up approximately 1,800 feet in elevation gain over the course of approximately 17.5 miles. So the question is, does the Engwe Engine Pro 2.0 have what it takes to make it to the top? Well, we're about to find out. So as you probably already know, this is a folding electric bike, and normally I would just fold this up and throw it in the trunk of my car, but I do have some reviews of larger and larger bikes coming down the pipeline, so I was needing a hitch rack system. So special thanks to Hollywood Racks for sending over the Destination E electric bike rack. All right, so we are officially making our way up the mountain right now, and one thing to mention about this Engine Pro 2.0 is that it is a torque sensing e-bike. So the harder we pedal, the more motor output and assistance we're gonna get. Now right now we're cruising around in pedal assist level 3, and we are in gear 8 for the moment. And we're gonna be dialing that down a little bit here as we work our way into the first uphill stretch. Now this bike does have a 750 nominal watt motor, which is capable of cranking out a peak 1,200 watts of power, as well as 75 Newton meters of torque, so that should be plenty enough power to get us to all 3 lookout points. Now, if you're curious what the range is on this bike, and you haven't watched it already, take a look at my range test video that we did last weekend. We were able to get some pretty epic range out of this big fat tire bike. Now on this ride today, we're gonna be going up to 3 lookout points. We're gonna go to Dobbins Lookout, Buena Vista Lookout, and Gila Valley Lookout. And if we get to all 3, that's going to be approximately 1,800 feet in elevation gain. Now I am tracking this ride today with Garmin GPS, which will give us a really accurate way and consistent way to track our progress up the mountain. So at the end of the ride, I'll bring all the data together for you. Now right now I'm cruising around in pedal assist level 4 as well as gear 4. And so far it's a pretty comfortable ride up the mountain. And for those of you keeping track, we just crossed the 3-mile mark. We've been riding for about 12 minutes and we're averaging about 15 miles an hour coming up this mountain right now. To get to the very top, we're looking at about 9.25 to 9.5 miles on average. And so we're about a third of the way there right now. Morning. You got lots of people out and about today, getting a solid workout in. Well, at least they are. Me, on the other hand, I'm putting in some work, but we've got this beautiful 750 watt motor to help us up the mountain. So far, this bike is doing a really good job of making it up this incline. The steepest sections, of course, are still ahead, and that'll be a bigger test of this bike, but right now I'm pretty comfortably riding around in pedal assist level 4 as well as gear 4. If things start getting tough, we do have another level of pedal assist that we can jump into, as well as a range of gears that we can select from. And that's one thing that I really like about this Engwe Engine Pro 2.0 is that it does come with 8 speeds. Whereas your typical e-bike, especially in this price point, has about 7 gears. And so having an extra gear gives you a wider range to choose from, which will help with riding comfort. I will say that so far this is the most comfortable bike I've ridden up here. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that this is a full suspension e-bike. We've also got a really comfortable seat, and it's got these 20-inch by 4-inch fat tires, which help absorb a lot of this impact. All right, got a little bit of a decline here before our next climb up the mountain. We got a little momentum going here into this steep curve. And as I mentioned, this is a torque sensing e-bike, so the harder we pedal, the faster we go. We've officially crossed the 4-mile mark. We've been riding for about 16 minutes at this point. We've also got 4 out of 5 battery bars remaining. I don't think we're going to have any issues with battery. This does have a 16 amp hour battery, 52 volt system, So I think that comes out to about 832 watt hours of capacity. So plenty of juice in the tank for this ride. And if you didn't catch it on my first impressions ride or the range test, this bike doesn't have a voltage readout or a wattage readout. So Engwe, if you're listening, in future iterations of this bike, it would be great to have those readouts. So one of the great things about these hill climb tests is it also gives us an opportunity to test out the brakes on the downside of the mountain. And so this bike does come equipped with hydraulic disc brakes. The discs are 160 millimeters. You know, normally on this size bike, I'm expecting around 180 millimeters, but to be honest with you, in the testing that we've done so far, the brakes are more than sufficient. You got a tremendous amount of stopping power. But of course, we've never tested them on a decline like we're about to do today, so we'll see how they hold up. We got through that steep section here, so we're gonna have a little downhill area here, and then it'll be right back to hill climbing before you know it. All right, so we are at the end of our gear range, cruising around about 25 miles an hour, and I'm officially ghost pedaling. So my pedaling cannot keep up with the speed of the bike. Now I've got to say, this suspension really is doing a good job of absorbing a lot of little bumps and cracks in the road. Really can't even feel them at all. So definitely nice to have a full suspension on this bike with the front fork suspension as well as the mid-mounted rear coil spring. Okay, got a little intersection here. We're gonna head on over left to our first lookout, which is Dobbins Lookout. All right, we are clear. Definitely want to watch out for the cyclists coming downhill today. Okay, so I'm definitely putting in a little extra effort here, coming on the upside. Gets a little steep here, but once again, our steepest section will be on our way up to that third lookout point, Gila Valley Lookout. So we may need pedal assist level 5 for that, but we shall find out. This is our first lookout point. We'll take a little break here, take in some of the views, and then we'll continue on our journey up the mountain. All right, so there's our trusty Engwe Engine Pro 2.0, and we'll go take a look at some of the views out here. It's a relatively clear day. Let's see what we got. All right. Looks like we've got downtown Phoenix out there. We got Camelback Mountain, and then we've got Tempe, Arizona. So absolutely beautiful views out here. Always worth the trip up. All right, let's get some water and we'll go ahead and continue on our journey. Here we go, on to our next lookout point. All right, definitely has a solid stability at speed. We're going about 28, 29 miles an hour right now. There's a little test of those brakes. We're coming into our turn, onto our next lookout point. We're going back into our next little hill climb section here. We've got 3 out of 5 battery bars remaining. We dropped another gear, and one more, and we'll bump it up back into pedal assist level 4. And once again, we are cruising. Looks like somebody slammed into that guardrail. It's part of the reason why I come up here on Sundays, because it's Silent Sunday and the road is closed to automobile traffic, which makes it a heck of a lot safer for bicyclists, hikers, you name it. And for those of you keeping track, we just crossed the 7-mile mark, and we've been riding for about 28 minutes at this point. Currently cruising at about 16, 17 miles an hour. All right. Looks like we made it now to Buena Vista Lookout. Once again, there's our trusty ride. As we walk out here, we've got another perspective of the Phoenix metro area. Right out there, you've got Phoenix Sky Harbor International Airport, Camelback directly ahead. And of course, we've got downtown Phoenix and then Tempe over there. But really nice, really silent out here. Let's head on out to our next lookout. All right. We are heading out now to our third lookout point, which is going to be Gila Valley Lookout, which they opened earlier this year. For the longest time, it was under construction, so glad to see that thing opened up now. Take full advantage of this little downhill section. Cruising around about 26 miles an hour right now. Now, of course, this is going to be the steepest section today, where we're going to have over 10% grades. So we're definitely going to be taking advantage of our gear options on the way up to this third lookout. Got up and over that. Now a little downhill section. And then back up to the grind. Out there in the distance, the top of that hill is Gila Valley Lookout. But we've got some work to do to make it up there. We are in pedal assist level 5 right now, cruising around about 22 miles an hour. And let's see, where are we? Distance-wise, we're coming up on 9 miles here. That motor is definitely putting in some work right now. Go ahead and drop into some lower gears. So as I mentioned before, you know, this is a torque sensing e-bike, so you're definitely going to have to put in more work compared to a cadence sensor e-bike, which is more of an on and off switch. You know, as long as those pedals are moving, it's delivering power. With a cadence sensor, if you want more power, you've got to pedal harder. And so that's what gives torque sensors a more natural riding experience. All right, we are in gear 2 right now, pedal assist level 5. Steep section here. Then we'll have a little bit of a downhill. Then we're at our third lookout point, and we're at 9.2 miles right now. We've been cruising around for about 41 minutes, and that battery bar is showing 2 out of 5 bars remaining. All right, there it is. City of Phoenix, South Mountain Preserve, Gila Valley Lookout. All right, here we are. These are the antennas here that sit at the top of South Mountain, and another vantage point of the Phoenix metro area. Nice, cool, and breezy. All right, folks, so that was 9.5 miles up to all 3 lookout points. Now we're going to go ahead and head on down the mountain. This will give us ample opportunity to test out the brakes on this bike. All right, so far so good. Coming into this tight curve. And we've officially crossed the 10-mile mark. We've got 2 out of 5 battery bars remaining. I don't know if I fully charged this thing before I left. I've been really busy with all kinds of stuff, but I think it was at least at 85–90% when we left. We've got a little windy uphill section here. And as soon as we crest the ridge, we'll be back on our downhill sections again. Just got to make it through this. Bump us back up into pedal assist level 4. And the top of the ridge is about 20 yards ahead. There it is, beautiful view. Camelback Mountain. All right, back to the downhill. Definitely solid handling coming down this mountain. A tight curve here, 20-inch wheels. You want to make sure the wheel on the side you're turning into, or at least the pedal on the side that you're turning into, is in the level or high position so that you don't scrape that pedal on the ground. That's just the nature of 20-inch tires. Wow, I am absolutely loving the suspension on this bike. Took that little pothole with ease. So if you're looking for a nice, super comfortable cruiser that's got the ride suspension feel of a Cadillac, this Engwe Engine Pro 2.0 is definitely one to consider. There's that guardrail. Somebody flew right into that thing. No, thank you. We are working our way back down. Tight little turn here. Gotta watch out for some of the gravel spots. We've had some rain here in the last couple days, so sometimes that dirt and gravel washes out onto the road. And we just crossed the 12-mile mark. Been riding around for about 54 minutes at this point. Still got 2 out of 5 battery bars remaining. These grips have been super comfortable, and this trigger style shifter is definitely nice. This is a step above what we normally see with these budget e-bikes. We are now going in to our next downhill stretch. And I will say these brakes are definitely solid. Definitely inspire a lot of confidence, and they're more than sufficient even for this kind of riding. So definitely more than I expected out of 160mm rotors. And we just crossed the 13-mile mark. Still got 2 out of 5 battery bars remaining. Everyone's out and about today enjoying this glorious weather. It got cold last night, I don't know, like 48, 50 degrees. Finally get some windows open in the house. I think today we've got a high of 74 degrees or something crazy like that. So absolutely beautiful weather. All right, we're past the 14-mile mark at this point. We still got 2 out of 5 battery bars remaining. Little windy section ahead here. About 28 miles an hour on GPS right now. This thing handles beautifully. $15-mile mark. Officially crossed it. 1 hour and 2 minutes into this ride. Still got 2 out of 5 battery bars remaining. Over the next several weeks, I'm going to compile all of our tests into a full end-to-end review. In the meantime, if you're interested in purchasing this bike, I will include a link in the description. It is an affiliate link, so if you use that, it absolutely helps support this channel, and it keeps the wheels moving on future reviews. So we are almost done with this ride today, and I'll tell you what, that was some pretty impressive performance out of this bike. Now, is it as easy to get up that mountain as a bike with a cadence sensor and a 750-watt motor? No, I mean, you're going to put in a little extra effort because it is a torque sensor, but overall, very enjoyable ride. Little speed bump here. Suspension handles that beautifully. All right, we are back to the parking area. As soon as we get back to the car, we'll go ahead and download the GPS data, see how we did, elevation, gain-wise, average speed, the whole 9 yards. Then I'll get this thing loaded back on the rack and head on home and edit this video. All right, folks, so there you have it. That was our ride with the Engwe Engine Pro 2.0 up South Mountain. On this particular ride, we went 17.25 miles. We had an average moving speed of 17.6 miles an hour, a max speed of 28.7 miles an hour. We also climbed on this ride 2,014 feet in elevation gain, and we were cruising around for approximately 1 hour and 8 minutes. So overall, very impressed with the performance of this bike coming up this mountain. Let me know if you have any questions, comments, thoughts, concerns. Happy to address those in the comment section below. And as always, thank you so much for tuning into Tom's Gadget Garage. We'll see you next time.